So in my previous videos, you might have seen me talk about the Flick smart button, and this is a really cool tool to automate your smart bulbs. But what if you can't afford or don't want to invest all your money into smart bulbs, or simply you just can't put smart bulbs or change the fixtures of your lights and everything like that? Well, in this video, I'm going to introduce a very nifty solution called the SwitchBot. And I think just as the Flick smart button, this is a really underrated IoT device that can really allow all the home automation possibilities in your home. So let's get right into it.
All right, turning on kitchen.
In the next few minutes, I'm going to talk about how exactly the SwitchBot actually works, how to set it up, and of course, I'm going to tell you what value it brings to your day-to-day life. Funny enough, I always dreamed about this type of technology, something that could just simply click on an existing infrastructure, something that already exists, like a light switch or a coffee button, for example. I want to be able to control my AC or something, like a fan, for example, but I didn't want to have to invest so much money, thousands of dollars, just to swap them out with a different IoT-enabled device. When I first automated my rocker switch for my lights, I was absolutely blown away how amazing this technology actually works, and I'm surprised that it hasn't become mainstream. In fact, I posted this on my social media and I got so many reactions, so many of my friends saying, "Oh, I want that, that's so cool." So I think the potential for this company is huge. So in the end, I'm very fortunate and very thankful of SwitchBot for creating this technology that allows us to use and leverage our existing, switches and all that very easily with a simple add-on. So why go out and buy a SwitchBot? What improvements to your life is it going to make day to day? Well, the first one is, we all know that when we come home, our hands are dirty. We don't want to touch the hallway switch. It would be nice if I could just open the door and then have it automatically turn on, or at least say a command to my home assistant. Well, with the SwitchBot, it's so easy to do that, obviously, because as soon as I open, you can have a trigger, for example, a motion sensor, or you can just tell the assistant to turn it on without ever touching your light switch. So that reason might be only applicable to germaphobes or people who are very paranoid of the current health situation that we're in. The second one is security. So let's say you're living in a home in your house and you're not home for, let's say you're on vacation. You don't have to go out and spend all your money and swap out everything for smart bulbs. You can simply use your existing lights and have it turn on a schedule. Having the lights go on a schedule, or just having them on in general to remotely enable them through the cloud, is a big deterrent for burglars. It's going to help avoid any kind of break-ins, hopefully. So this is a very nice security feature for your home. Thirdly, my main use is to automate all my existing light switches. And yes, you can go out and buy a smart bulb, or you can buy a smart electric plug or some kind of smart switch, but that can be very expensive. And also the setup, for me, I'm not an electrician. I'm renting my current place. I can't go and swap out all the wiring for a smart enabled switch or change the electrical wiring. To me, I might electrocute myself. It's very dangerous. It's very cumbersome. It's a lot of work, a lot of investment of your time to have to swap all these devices out. And of course, your resources being money. With the SwitchBot, you simply stick it onto your existing rocker switch, and you basically have your whole home automated with very minimal effort and not spending all your money. And perhaps you are very daring, or you're an electrician. Well, if you're renting a place, like for an example, I'm renting this apartment, I can't go and start mess around with all the wires and change all the electricity ports and stuff like that. I much rather use a solution that isn't so permanent. For the next section of this video, let's talk about the setup and how easy this is. For the majority of this video, I'm going to be talking about the SwitchBot bot. There is the SwitchBot Hub Mini, and there is a smart thermometer. We're going to talk about some of the other various products later in this video, and perhaps I'll make another video dedicated to those specific very cool devices as well. Now for the SwitchBot bot, which is a button presser, it has two modes. The first mode is press mode. And what press mode does is that it pushes any mechanical button. So for example, let's say you have a fan and it just requires pushing a button. You just stick it onto the fan and it'll push a button. The other mode is the toggle mode. And the toggle mode will turn a light switch on and off. Now you need to have a rocker style light switch. And most houses built in the last 20 years have this style. So don't worry, you likely have it in your home. The next step is that you have to download the SwitchBot app and pair the individual device to the app using Bluetooth. And the pairing process was painless. It doesn't require any finicky stuff. It was really simple. It connected immediately. It is advised to create an account in SwitchBot so that you can hook this to the cloud, but it's not necessary, which is a nice bonus. The next step is you're going to have an adhesive, a 3M adhesive, which is extremely strong, so it's very good and very reliable. What you want to do is peel the back off and stick it onto a light switch. I put it below. If you do it below that light switch, you're going to have to invert the toggle mode. So you can simply do that in the settings. And then what you will have is a little hook. You'll hook it into the arm of the SwitchBot, and that allows it to pull up or push down on the specific rocker switch, and you just apply it to the bottom of the rocker switch. Now I'm hoping you're watching this video, you can see how simple the setup is. It only took me 3 minutes to get everything up and running. If I had to, let's say, example, swap out all my electrical wiring for a smart switch, that would take me a lot of time, instructions. I just don't have time to do that. This was really simple. Now you might be wondering, can I use the light switch just like a regular person, a dumb switch? Yes, of course you can. No interference, nothing has changed in terms of using this day to day. Now there is one caveat to having the SwitchBot, is that you likely will want to have the SwitchBot Hub Mini. And what this allows you to do is actually have all your individual SwitchBots be connected to the cloud. So when you're not at home, you're able to remotely control all the devices. And most importantly, you're going to be able to want to hook SwitchBot to Google Home Assistant, Alexa, or If This Then That, which is a web service that allows you to automate. Okay, so Alexa just turned on right there. If This Then That is a web service that allows you to integrate with many other technologies, so you can have this work in conjunction with many other different web services. Now, of course, I wish I didn't have to go out and buy this specific device. I wish I could actually have it connected to my phone via Bluetooth and then still have the Google Home Assistant still trigger the command to my phone, which then would trigger the command to this. But I do see the benefit in having this. Of course, if you're not going to be at home, you're going to need some connection. So this actually connects with Bluetooth. And another bonus with this specific Hub Mini is that it can replicate an infrared command. So what this allows you to do is actually control things that use a remote control. For example, let's say you have an AC unit and you want to be able to turn it on. You can actually just have it recorded into this system. It'll remember it. And then you can actually play that specific command using its own built-in infrared blaster, which allows you to enable much more devices. Alexa, turn on the projector. So this SwitchBot Hub Mini has multiple purposes. Not only does it allow all your SwitchBot devices to be on the cloud, but it gives you infrared technology, which allows you to automate even more things in your home. Now, as for the Mini Hub itself, I have to say it's a very simple device. It's really small and compact, very light. It's powered by a USB cable and very easy to set up as well, just like the SwitchBots in there. Easy to pair it to the actual app. Now, my main use case is to enable hands-free automation of all my light bulbs without having to change everything. And of course, I use the Google Assistant or Alexa. And what's nice about this is in the Google Assistant app, you can actually designate a particular SwitchBot bot to be a light. So what this means is that Google Home will classify that device, that IoT device, as a light fixture. And what's amazing about this is that this allows you to treat it as a light bulb as normal as any other kind of smart bulb. So when you put it in a group, or for example, you want to say, Google, turn off all the lights, it will actually include the SwitchBot part as that command. So this is absolutely amazing. This integration makes it so seamless to actually make the whole connection with your entire home completely automated. One other use case is that, for example, let's say I have a noisy machine and I don't want it to be on while I'm sleeping, but I want it to be kind of working when I'm not sleeping in my room. I have, let's say, a humidifier in my home. What I can do is I can set a schedule so that it actually is disabled with one single press of the button. And then after that, when I leave the house, it actually turns on automatically. So there's an infinite amount of possibilities what you can do if you make all your existing home devices IoT enabled. Now, in terms of the actual SwitchBot bot, I have to say the mechanical arm is quite strong. And I'm really impressed by this because it's actually a very compact device and it uses a very small battery. And I'm surprised how strong the force is. Now, I haven't fully tested the battery, but it says 600 days of use. So this thing is going to last you a very long time. You don't have to go out and replace the battery. But of course, if you do need to replace the battery, it's very simple. It's built in and it's obviously swappable. So you don't have to waste the device. It is user replaceable. I have to say it's very satisfying to hear that very loud click every time it turns it on, and you can hear the motor working. For some reason, I don't know, it's kind of weird, but just having this all working together when I say, hey Google, turn off the kitchen light.
Got it. Turning off kitchen.
Hey Google, turn on the kitchen light.
Sure. Turning on kitchen.
Just hearing that click and that kind of noise feedback is just really satisfying. So that's kind of a weird thing to say, but very cool overall. Now, in terms of the reliability of the connection, the Bluetooth connection, I have to say I've had zero problems at all. It's very easy to set up, and of course the connection stays very reliable. There is a little bit of a lag when you say, hey, issue this command, but that's understandable. And I'm more than patient enough to have it working just very cohesively in my life. So there are a few cons, but they're really minor. The first thing is that this device, the SwitchBot, is not available in Canada. Every time I go on Amazon, I try to search it up, it's not available. So I'm really hoping that SwitchBot, gains more popularity and that they become more widely available in international countries. Obviously, it's available in the United States, and I'm hoping that it will come to more countries, especially Canada, because I want to order more of these. Another con you might see is that if you're very finicky with your kind of design or the aesthetics of your house, you may not want this little gadget, kind of looks like Wall-E from the movie Wall-E. You may not want that on your light switch. For me, it doesn't really bother me. Of course, in this video, you can see that I'm using a black switch on a white plate. Obviously, you can use black on black on white to avoid the contrast. Lastly, this is not the fault of SwitchBot, but not every device can be automated. For example, my thermostat, which is a very unintuitive, very hard to use thermostat, is not user-friendly at all, is basically I can't use SwitchBot to automate it to change the temperature. Now there are some more simple thermostats out there that allow you to kind of use the up and down controls. So you might want to have two SwitchBots to enable up and down so you can fully automate your thermostat. But in my case, as you can see here, it requires a very intricate pattern just to change the temperature. So unfortunately, SwitchBot isn't the final solution for everything. For example, let's say I want to automate my blinds. I'm going to need to add more different type of devices in order to achieve full automation in my home. So that's it for this video about the SwitchBot bot. I'm going to talk about some of the other devices such as the infrared mini hub and of course the thermometer. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you want to see those videos. I'm going to post a follow-up update on this. Please let me know what you guys think about this device in the comment section down below. I'm really curious to know what you guys have done to automate your home and if there are other types of solutions out there. The possibilities of home automation are endless with SwitchBot. I really do hope you unlock the massive potential that you can achieve using these simple devices. So definitely check them out. I think they deserve your attention. Thanks for watching this video and I will see you in the next one.